Hey, welcome everyone. Hey, this is a podcast that explores various aspects of addiction, potentially focusing on personal stories of recovery, scientific perspectives, societal impacts, or related topics. This podcast often features discussions with experts, individuals in recovery, therapists, and advocates to offer insights and support to those affected by addiction or seeking more information about it. Welcome to another episode of The Other Side of Addiction. I'm your host, Al Richards. And today, with our guest, Pamela, we're going to be talking about how she took her life back, which a lot of my guests have done, actually, the majority of them. And we're not even talking those that have battled with addiction. We are talking those that have just gone through some type of crisis or trauma and actually said enough's enough and they took their life back. So, Pamela, thank you so much for taking time out of your afternoon to be with us today. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, my gosh, you and I, we've known each other for many, many years. We knew each other in high school. We didn't really talk or hang out with the same crowd. However, we knew one another, which I think back in those days, pretty much we almost knew all the students because it's not as crazy as is today. But
Right.
it's crazy to hear. I've talked to a few other people who we've gone to school with, and it's so crazy to hear where life has taken a lot of us.
Oh,
And
yeah.
my gosh, and some have come from very loving families, caring families. Other has come from maybe broken homes. And it goes to show addiction does not discriminate. It doesn't care the color of your skin, what religion you are. Doesn't matter if you grew up rich, poor, middle class. It could care less. Doesn't care if you went on a mission. Doesn't care if you didn't go on a mission.
No.
So when you and I had a chance to talk and you shared a little bit with me, I mean, in a way I was like in awe, but then also in a way I wasn't, because I had my bout, with drugs and alcohol and really didn't get heavy into it until the early 2000s and had my bout with an 8-year weekend cocaine and alcohol and that was my release of stress and anyway that's what I told myself to justify it.
Right.
And,
We all do that.
yeah, and some of us come from other types of traumas. So, you know, kind of where did your story begin? I mean, what kind of led you down that road?
Well, I've had a really rough life. I came from a home with a white picket fence per se, where my mom hid my molestation. Um, then when I married, um, I had a husband who shoved 25 diet pills down my throat every day. So I became addicted to what was called speed back then, which was Dexedrine diet pills. So yes, I became addicted to speed first and became anorexic. Um, then I um, I had a child, divorced, had a child, became a single mother. Then I went back to work and weighed 79 pounds. Then I injured my back and they didn't believe that there was anything wrong with my back. So being workman's comp, um, wouldn't give me anything for the pain. So, that solder furniture that's in the box
Hmm.
and they pack it in the box. So a 90-pound box of furniture fell on me and it crushed me to the cement. So here I was, I just got out of the hospital. They'd fed me through my nose. And they didn't believe that I was injured as bad as I was. So I turned to the next best thing, alcohol. I hid alcohol under the bed. I hid it in the car. I hid it in the shed. I hid it at a friend's. I hid it everywhere. I went to the pool with friends. Anywhere I could go, I drank alcohol. Um, I had two kids at the time by then. Um, And my husband just kept drinking with me. Um, Not knowing that there was a serious problem. So I'd gone through husband number one, I was on husband number two. Um, so after a while, I just, after probably 8 or 9 years, and my daughter coming home and seeing me just plastered, and then suffering grand mal seizures from it, I thought, this is just ridiculous. Then my mom saw me drunk. I would go to the clubs. I would have drinks with Golden Richard, the football player, and leave my husband behind. Then thought, this has just got to change. Something has really got to happen. So being anorexic, drinking, not being more than 110 pounds, but yet drinking other people under the table. I mean, we're talking, I was drinking tequila straight.
Mm.
That was my drink of choice. Um, it was time to quit. So I went cold turkey.
Wow.
I just quit after I went to the hospital, and I probably wrote that in my bio. I don't remember. I tried to hang myself in the emergency room and ended up in the psych ward.
So when you
There
went to
was,
the hospital, was that basically just to go for detox? Because I know with alcohol, it is very, very important to detox. Because what a lot of people don't realize, which I didn't for a long period of time, that that is actually one of the only drugs per se that you cannot just quit cold turkey without having some type of detox. And
yeah,
then of course, you can kind of start going from there.
yeah, I did. I went from there. They brought me down from that. I went home and I drank some more, and then I just decided I wasn't going to go back for help. I just decided I needed to do it by myself.
Hmm.
I started myself. I needed to do it myself.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard.
So
And
when you went to the psych ward, I mean, if I remember right in your bio, that kind of also woke you up, right? When you're just going,
oh,
my gosh, what the heck am I doing?
yeah, that woke me up a lot. Um, there was a life to live, and I needed to live it. Um, there was more to life than drinking. I had two girls, and they needed me. And I needed to live for them. I needed to stop being selfish. It was time to grow up and be a mom and stop being selfish.
Self,
It
self
really,
selfish in like the negative type way, correct? Because I believe, okay, wait a minute. That's a word I'm working on getting rid of my vocabulary. My version of it is we have to be selfish in a way of taking care of ourselves so we can take care of others instead of the
right.
selfish way of where, because
Selfish
I was,
meaning I had to stop being selfish in thinking alcohol was the way to go. I needed to take care of my kids.
there you go. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
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 Um, my back was trashed. I could never go back to work again, and I was only 28. They totaled me out like a car. So 28 years old, mother of two, couldn't go back to work. I needed to stop being selfish and think about my kids.
Hmm. Yeah. How old were your
Not
kids at the time?
me. My kids were in elementary school.
Okay.
They were in elementary school. Um, we lived in Sandy, and really, it was time to stop being selfish on my part. I had the kids, I needed to think about them, and I was not thinking about them. I was thinking about where my next drink was coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, which the majority of us, that's where we get lost, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know someone who's going through that right now. It's really tough to watch. It's really,
It
really tough
is.
to watch. And I've had to finally pull myself away from it.
And I took myself, and my husband was trying to grab all my bottles, and I said, no, I don't want you to touch those. I said, I need to do that for me. I need to grab my own bottles, and I need to throw them away myself, and I need to empty them.
Hmm.
And I
Wow.
did.
Wow, good
As
for
hard
you.
as it was, as hard as it was, I emptied all my own bottles and I threw them away.
You know, that's very powerful, Pamela. I mean, that's
It
seriously,
had to be.
that is very powerful because
It
I would,
had to be, or I was going to die.
yeah, yeah, because I would think the majority would say, you know what, as soon as I finish these, I'm done.
No, my kids waddle, watch me weave around, walking, falling over. They couldn't watch me do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I talked to my oldest daughter just what last summer, and she said, Mom, I saw things that I should never have to see. How powerful is that?
Yeah.
And she shouldn't have had to see those things. How horrible for her to remember those things growing up. How selfish of me to have a daughter that has to remember those memories.
Yeah.
That's not
Well,
right.
yeah, there's a few ways. I
Me
guess
to
there's a few
cry.
ways of looking at it. It's yeah, you're right. It's hard for the kids to see that. It's hard for anyone to see it, especially when you love someone and care about them.
And that to me was, I never thought of it that way. I never thought that she would have that memory. I never did, but she does. You know, she has that memory. On top of that memory, she has my suicide attempts.
But what's her memories that she's getting now? I mean, you've been clean and sober for a while, so
I've
these
been
are
clean
all
and sober for a long time.
well. See, these are all new memories.
No, well, we were talking about things, and her sister-in-law was talking to her about her mother being an alcoholic, and she brought that up. She said, "Well, I remember my mom being an alcoholic," and I didn't know she remembered that because it was so long ago. Because I've been sober now. Let's see, she is 41. It gives my age away. I have been sober 30 plus years now.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Huge, huge milestone.
And I can go to a bar and I can watch people drink and it doesn't even faze me. And when I get down and I hit a rabbit hole, if you know what I mean by a rabbit hole,
Absolutely.
um, the thought of drinking a drink does not even cross my mind. Does not even doesn't even come up.
Wow. Do you ever, when you're in the situation like that, do you ever get to where you can feel or taste that taste or just feel the nastiness that you felt when you were drunk or coming out of a drunk?
Um, you know, I never really had a hangover. If I can say that, I never really had that nasty. nasty hangover where I was puking my guts up. I had the horrible headaches because I suffer massive migraines, which is a medical problem that I do have. But I never threw up from the alcohol, but I did throw up from the migraine. Is that weird?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Wow.
I didn't throw up from the alcohol, but it was the migraine that made me throw up
Huh.
because the migraines are hereditary. I've suffered those since I was 16, and I used to have to be rushed to the emergency room and have shots of Demerol to break the cycle because I could have a migraine that would last upwards of 3 to 4 weeks.
Hmm.
So, and it's crazy. So, could it be the alcohol? I don't know, but it was mostly the migraine.
Yeah. And the migraine wasn't being caused by the alcohol.
We don't know because I suffer migraines, and since they found out years later, probably it was in my 50s, they found out I had a hole in my heart and they closed it.
Hmm.
But everybody in the family suffers migraines and it's hereditary.
Interesting.
So it's an odd thing. We don't know if the throwing up comes from the drinking or if it came from the headache.
Hmm.
Or if the headache came from the drinking. So it's a peculiar thing. I can't say that
No,
word.
you had it. You had it. Yeah, you had it.
So it's strange.
Yeah, that is really strange. So with your children watching their mom suffer from the alcoholism, did it turn them down the wrong road, or did it get them? Because I've had some people come on the show and go, you know what? Yeah, my kids followed my same footsteps, or they're like,
Um,
because of what they saw, they were like, they'll never touch the stuff, and they haven't. And you'll see it go both ways sometimes, and then you'll see to where, like yourself, you finally broke that chain, and by breaking
no.
the chain, that broke the cycle for the ones following.
I have a daughter I haven't seen since 2016. She is on a very bad path of drugs. As you know, I raised her five girls for 5 years. Um, it was a very, very rough road for me because I did lose him in court. Um, she got him back, and then she ended up losing custody of them. She can't have them back. She married a druggie. The girls has seen a battering ram at their door with the FBI, the drug DEA, everybody take him away. And she loves him. She's in that scene. She just can't get away from him.
Hmm.
So a week ago, one of my granddaughters did connect with me. She is now 19, so I have seen one of them. And she said her mom is hooked on meth along with her husband. So she has taken a bad road.
Yeah. And her daughter is doing okay.
All five of her girls are doing okay. And she did lose her son as well. But apparently she has two more girls. I'm very concerned about them, but there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I don't know where she lives. I don't know where they're at. If I could, I would probably turn them in, but apparently they're being what's the word I'm looking for? His parents are enabling him.
Yeah, which is easy for parents to do. Hell, it's easy for spouses to do. I know because I did the same thing for many, many years.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard, because like we said at the beginning of the show, it's you care about someone or you love them, and it's hard to watch their suffering. And all you want to do is do your best to lend your hand and help them in any way possible. And it's hard to give someone help that doesn't want the help. They
It
say they
is.
want the help, but that's just the addiction talking. Because
It is.
yeah, because being in the situation I'm at right now as a crisis and addiction recovery coach, I was on the phone with somebody that called me out of the blue last week, and they got my number from a family member, and he's like, "Al, I need help. I need help." And I said, "All right, where are you at right now?" And he was taking himself to go to detox. And it was a 24-hour detox that he had found. I had not ever heard of the place, which is crazy. And he said, after that, I would like some help to get into recovery. However, I have no insurance. I don't have a job. And I says, okay, well, I can definitely help you with that. I've got some resources that I can help you with. However, you got to be serious about wanting to do this. And he's like, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I'm going to do this. And I even asked this person, I said, can I speak openly? And he goes, yeah. And I says, don't you effing bullshit me,
Mhm.
because I will take time out of my day to help you as long as I know you're serious.
Mhm.
It's been a week. Haven't heard from him at all. And it just breaks my heart, and a part of me wants to reach out to this kid. And I have to stop myself because that's what I would do with my ex-wife. And it's his journey.
Only do
It's
so
not it's
much.
not mine. And
Yeah.
it's up to him, which is hard. And I don't even know this kid, and it still breaks my heart that there's nothing I can do unless he wants it.
And they've got to want it. They have to want it. And see, that's the thing is I wanted it really bad.
Yeah.
I
Your
wanted,
mic, just a second, Penny. Your mic must have turned down or something. I can like barely hear you now.
oh, you know why my doctor tried to call in?
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
yes, much better. Thank you.
No, I can't hear you.
Yep, you got me? No, now I can't hear you. You're no
Can't hear
sound.
you? No? How about now?
Barely. I can just barely hear you.
Oh my gosh, my doctor tried to call in and now he screwed everything up.
Yeah, we had really good sound, and now all of a sudden it's just like I can barely hear you.
Okay, how about now?
Still the same.
I'll have to turn my okay, how about now?
Still the same.
Okay, how about now?
There you go. Now you're up. Yep, gotcha.
Now I can't hear you.
I don't understand that. My mic's on.
Well, that's okay. The only way I could do that is put my headphones on.
Okay, well, if you need to put your head, unless you don't want to, but you got to be able to hear me.
Huh?
You got to be able to hear me.
Okay, hang on. Would I look okay with my headphones on?
A lot of people use their headphones. Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I have two different things to use. I'm going to be in the dark for a minute.
Okay.
Well, now you're going to see my room. I've been digging it out. Okay. I'm trying to move out of my mom's house. Okay. Dun, dun.
Can you hear me okay now? You got me?
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna have to move the screen for a minute.
I don't know what happened, folks.
Okay. I can hear you.
You got me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Hello?
Hello. Well, maybe this might be the end of the show.
Nope, hang on, my speakers went off. Okay. I hope it's not the end of the show. Hang on. Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just don't see you now.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now you're back.
There. Okay, I can hear you.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, good deal.
We
All
got
right.
this thing. We can do all sorts of things around here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Well, next.
yeah, so one of your daughters has disappeared. You haven't seen her for a while. And we were talking about, there's not much that we can do. As hard as it is, especially when it's a child, luckily, thank goodness, I've not had to go down that road. I can't
Yeah.
imagine how hard it would be for a child to have your child that's suffering from addiction. I know it's extremely hard with a spouse. I would think that would be tenfold when it's your child.
I've had to walk away from it.
Yeah.
I've had to, it sounds horrible, yes, but there's nothing I can do to help her. She doesn't want anything to do with me. So I've just kind of had to walk away for my own sanity. Because at one time I tried to commit suicide and I almost won. I almost lost my life over it.
Yeah.
I mean, my life, Al, has been really tragic. I've seen about every side of the bad coin that there is. I had a husband who molested my grandchildren and I sent him to prison. I just divorced a husband who gaslighted me, told me all sorts of things, turned me over to the police and said that I needed to be committed and had me committed 5 times. There was nothing wrong with me.
I thought they had to evaluate you before they could commit you, but no.
Mm-mm.
Huh.
He worked for a hospital and knew what to say.
Okay.
No, because it's in my files that I have bipolar disorder, and he used that against me. But I don't take medication anymore. There's nothing wrong with me. But because he said that I was crazy and that he knew what to say, one of the cops even said, well, let's go ahead and have a talk and see, and we'll just talk. And he took me to the hospital and pink slipped me.
I don't know what that means by pink slipping.
Okay, pink slip means that you're committed for 7 days, no matter what.
Okay.
So then I decided not to eat and rebel. And the doctor said, well, if you don't eat, you're going to be white slip. I'm like, white slip? What the hell's a white slip? That means you go before a judge, and that won't be for another 30 days. And they decide how long you stay here.
Interesting.
And I said, okay, well, I'll eat just to get by. So I've run the gamut. So now I've taken my life back, really taken my life back.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask you, so where are you at right now in your life?
I am in a good spot.
Good for you.
I'm running a photography business. I have been asked to I do classic cars, vintage cars, but I don't do the whole car. I put them on metal prints, and I've been asked to take some prints down to a gallery in Vernal, Utah.
Cool. Well, good for you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So if anybody's interested in looking at my pictures, I do landscape, I do birds, and I do cars. And you can see me on Pamela Lynn Images on Instagram.
Yeah, and I think I saw that on your bio, so I'll make sure that it gets on the show notes so people
Yeah,
can get on and go check that out. So
yeah, I'm
where do
super excited.
where do you see your life heading now?
You know, my goal is to be J.K. Rowling's of
Jake?
photography.
Okay.
Um, because I don't make very much money on Social Security. And she came, you know who she is, don't you?
J.K. Rawlings?
Hmm.
Uh-uh.
She wrote oh gosh, now I forgot. She wrote all the oh, crap, now I forgot. She wrote all the
Are they
what those
photography books or
no. They're the books that all the kids like to read. The big thick books that
like the Harry Potters or something like that?
yes, she wrote Harry Potter.
Okay.
She lived on the streets on welfare.
Okay, I
And
did not
now
know.
she's an author. Yes, now she's an author. She lived in her car.
Hmm. Robert Kawasaki did the same thing, if you know who Robert Kawasaki is.
See, I don't know
One who
who he
wrote
is.
Rich Dad, the one who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Lived him and his
Oh,
wife lived in the car, and then he came up with $500 to go to a real estate class
mm-hmm,
or seminar, and
mm-hmm.
now the man's a multimillionaire.
Wow.
So it goes to show it's never too late, right? We're in our 60s. However, Colonel Sanders didn't become a millionaire till he was in his mid 60s.
Yeah.
I get
See,
frustrated when I hear people say, well, it's too late for me. You know, it's never too late. It's never too late to change.
no, I started my first business at 17. No,
Hmm.
actually, I was a mom. I was 19. So I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. But now you can just
Just keep going.
concentrate on you though, without all the other outside distractions, because that pulls us
Yes,
away from our dreams when we've got that going on.
yes. So now I just have my Mini Cooper, my camera, and I go.
Well, cool. Good for you.
But right now I take care of my mom who has dementia, my dad who's a Vietnam vet, but
Hmm.
I'm currently getting ready to move out. It's too hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It's really hard.
definitely tough. I've got a good lady friend who lost her mom not too long ago with that, and she was taking care of her mom. And um, I tip my hat off to her though, because she saw a lot of blessings through it.
Uh,
You know, it was
my
tough for her, but she also saw a lot of blessings.
It's really hard. My mom's getting very mean now, and everything that happens, she takes it out on me. And I have I have a younger brother and an older brother,
Hmm.
and they don't help.
Yeah.
And it's very hard.
Well, you got
And
you got your life heading in a different direction right now.
yeah, It's time to take care of me. I've taken care of everybody else my whole life.
Yeah. Well, and you can't really take care of anybody else unless you do take care of yourself
Right.
in a good way, right? Yeah.
Yeah. A healthy way.
A healthy way. Absolutely.
Healthy way. And I'm taking that step after my hip replacement.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, don't let that bog you down.
Oh no. Yeah, 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and even a baby step is a step forward.
Yeah. I used to take 5 steps forward and then 20 steps backwards. That's how I used to do it.
Hmm.
That's the thing with alcohol. That's how it used to be. You take 1 step backwards and you take 40 steps or 1 step forward and 40 steps back.
Yeah.
You don't get anywhere.
Well, and good for you for staying away from it for 30 years, you know,
Yeah.
because it can draw you back. It definitely can. I know somebody that went 5 years and just slipped. And luckily, it didn't take him long to get back on the saddle, which was really good. So it
Yeah.
can definitely come back and bite you in the rear if you let down your resilience and your guard.
Yeah. Well, I pick up my camera.
Yeah,
That's my alcohol.
yeah. Well, that's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah. If you have something good to pick up, then you don't need that bottle.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're using whatever's going on in your life in a
Hmm.
positive way.
Yeah. Yeah. Capture life.
Yeah, yeah. Capture your own life as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is there any kind of advice that you'd like to give to anyone out there?
Um, Life is more important than the bottle. It really is. There, catch the small things. Look out for the small things because you might miss them if you keep drinking.
Yeah, you'll
I miss so many small things.
give us an example if you have one.
Well, I miss my kids growing up a little bit.
Yeah,
I miss their early years.
yeah.
I really did. I miss those early years, and I can't get those back.
No, but it's what
You
it's water
miss,
under the bridge now.
oh, it is. But when
Yeah,
you think about it, it's hard.
yeah.
Your kids remember those things. They may not tell you, but they remember because kids remember things. They have minds like elephants.
Well, and I like to my version of it is what's happening now.
Yeah,
I've had a talk with my daughters on some things, and I miss a lot of my daughter's stuff when they were younger too. We got divorced, and then I was a workaholic. I mean, all I did was
yeah,
work, and I wanted to
yeah,
move up the chain, and my dedication was work, 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 work,
yeah,
and again, that's that selfishness in a negative way to where that's all I thought about. And
yeah.
luckily, I tip my hat off to my ex-wife. She did an amazing, amazing job with our daughters. Her and I are friends to this day, which, in
That's
the
good.
90s, it was an all-out drag-out war, and we finally came to terms that this is about our kids, our daughters, not
There
us.
you go.
And it's worked out really, really well. And we've talked a little bit on some stuff, and the kids remember some things, and there's a lot of things that they don't. However, what they see now is what's most important to them now, and
Yeah,
it's so blessed and grateful that that's how they look at it. It's nice for them to be able to see both their parents show up at a family event and get along and
well,
and be
you
there
have
and talk.
kids.
Well, of course,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you have the kids and then you have the grandkids. You have to get along.
Hmm.
You
Yep.
know, it's like when I painted my room, I was going to do like the color that's in, is gray. And I thought, forget that. I almost missed the sunshine. Paint my room yellow for hell's sakes. So I painted it yellow.
Wow.
It's a very, very soft yellow.
Yeah.
So I wake up to a bright room every day because, gosh, for hell's sakes, I almost missed it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we only have one life on this planet,
Yeah,
and we all get lost. Many of us have been lost in so many different ways. And a lot of us have also made it through it, right? Because I know, and
oh
I'm
yeah,
you know too, that there are classmates that we went to school with who are no longer here. Some lost
yeah,
their life due to addiction, other lost their lives due to something else, whether it be health
yeah,
or accident. And so to be blessed that we're still here to this day to make a difference, it's
yeah.
something to be said, that's for sure.
It really is. I mean, I feel very blessed that I'm.
I I lost you again. I lost your sound. Yep, got you back, I think.
Are you there?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, my mom's calling.
Oh, okay.
Nobody talks to me all day long.
Well, that's usually how it goes. I could be
Right,
I could be unloading stuff out of the truck, and as soon as I have my hands full, my arms full, my phone goes off.
right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Pam, again, I'm glad, thank you for your time. Thank you for taking time out of your afternoon to share
Yeah,
a little bit about your life and your journey. And I'm very excited for you for your new journey and the direction that
yeah,
you're going. And again, congrats on 30 years, because
yeah.
I'm
Thank you.
sure it's not been easy. However, 30 years is a heck of a long time. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just keep
Curtsy.
keep waking up and smiling and keep moving forward.
I will.
Cool. Well, guys, again, thank you to all our guests, all our past guests and past sponsors. And again, thank you to all your listeners. You guys are the ones that's making all this possible. Really appreciate your love and support. And guys, again, mark your calendars. Saturday, October 5th at the Miller Free Enterprise Building in Sandy, Utah, from about 10 to 3:45 or 4 o'clock. We've got the fourth Healing Utah Success Summit. You can go to Roosh Recovery, RUESCH recovery.com to get your tickets. They're only $25, really inexpensive. Come out, be inspired, be educated, and be energized. We've got an amazing event that our team has been working extremely hard to put together, and we're going to pack the house. We're definitely going to pack the house. So, again, Saturday, October 5th. Guys, thank you again for everything, for all your love and support. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, and remember this: addiction is giving up everything for one thing, and recovery is giving up one thing for everything. We're out.